in den Punkterängen. Wer hätte das gedacht? Hier das Rauchzeichen.
Ja. Ui, das sieht mir ein bisschen schon so aus wie bei...
Ich habe das Gefühl, Frentzen fährt verflixt langsam. Um nicht zu sagen, er rollt aus.
Ja,
das war's. Ja, da konnte er nicht richtig anfahren. Da hat er schon Getriebe-Trouble gehabt.
Wahrscheinlich.
Hör mal.
Schumacher has slowed down a lot. There is Frentzen. We think he is coming in to retire from the race. He slowed down so much. He's got a gearbox problem. That has been the Achilles heel of the Jordan car, this year's car, in testing, and it looks as though it struck again, if an Achilles heel can strike. Michael Schumacher, then Ferrari leads. Rubens Barrichello, Ferrari, 11 seconds behind him and speeding up to close the gap. Ralf Schumacher in the BMW Williams is third, Villeneuve is fourth, Fisichella is fifth, and the second BMW Williams of Genselnerve is holding his fifth position. You're looking now at Frentzen, followed by Irvine, followed by Ralf Schumacher, so that's the Jaguar. In Eddie Irvine in 8th position, ahead of the Williams BMW, as through the last chicane, just before the start and finish straight, go the two leaders, and it's getting mighty close at the back.
Slow Jordan there, whether he just made a mistake and got shuffled to the outside, or whether he's got some kind of problem. Let's see Irvine and Ralf Schumacher through. We're missing a Jordan. Here we go now. Locks a wheel, runs wide, maybe he just lost track position. So we'll watch to see. No, Frentzen is in the pits. Heinz-Harald Frentzen in the pits.
So there's a gap developing all the time. There's 7 seconds now between them as Heinz-Harald Frentzen sits in the pit lane. I'm looking down to see if I can see him. Sadly, yes, I can. I can just see him sitting in the Jordan. As there goes Pedro de la Rosa, and Frentzen is getting out of the car. So he is retiring from the San Marino Grand Prix. Tough luck for Jordan, because they'd worked their way up to third with Williams. There he is, worked their way up to third with Williams in the Constructors' Championship as a result of their success in Brazil. Third and fourth places there to Frentzen and Trulli. Mika Häkkinen leads his pit stop. Now we're with Frentzen again in second position, and I remind you of the places. David Coulthard, we're with Frentzen in fourth position, Häkkinen is second, Michael Schumacher is third, Ralf Schumacher is just 1.5 seconds behind the man we are riding with as he turns into bridge.
I think Frentzen's got a problem. Frentzen came out of Abbey chicane with a misfire. He's got some... That is Frentzen, isn't it?
Yes.
Drama. Frentzen is going slowly.
You're right. Now let's look for Ralf Schumacher, because you're absolutely right, Martin. You can see from the positioning of the car and its speed on the track that he is much slower than he has been in the past. We'll see the two of them go across the line, I have no doubt. So he sounds all right as he accelerates away up the straight. Maybe he's missing a gear.
He's not changing gear at all. He's just staying in the same gear, look, and he didn't change gear up the pit straight at all. Maybe he's lost hydraulic pressure too, and that also affects his throttle, which could explain why he slowed down so much.
And Martin, we've missed it, I'm afraid. Ralf Schumacher is ahead of him, and Jenson Button is catching him. There is Ralf Schumacher.
And that's Frentzen cruising, waving at the crowd. His race is over. Any hydraulic pressure he had left in that system to work the throttle and the gears is finally over.
David Coulthard, and 4 seconds ahead of 4th place Giancarlo Fisichella in the Benetton. Eddie Irvine, and there goes the Jordan, and Frentzen is now going to be passed by Rubens Barrichello, who will move up into 2nd position.
Just a silly, careless mistake there, Murray. Frentzen just went in, cruised into the corner, ran fractionally wide and slapped the barrier. Surely he's broken the rear suspension and the drive shaft, I'd imagine. Look at this, look, just picks up a little bit of dirt, and that's it. And quite a whack, actually. Barrier yielded a little bit, and that is Frentzen out of the race. What a silly, careless mistake.
So it means that lap 50, as in comes Heinz-Harald Frentzen, and he slipped down through the field.
They're not ready for him, Murray. I'm looking out of the pit lane, and they're they're just coming out. Look, so I don't know what's going on there. Maybe Louise, what can you tell us?
Well, the team obviously caught unawares there. Frentzen has been having a problem with his brakes. It was actually a team decision to allow Trulli to come through because Heinz-Harald was slow with his brakes.
Schumacher in, Louise. I'm sorry, Schumacher.
Can you check the rear? Leave the rear tyres off. We need to look at the diff. Leave the rear tyres off.
Now in this lap 39 lap race, and there is the Jordan running wide onto the grass as he goes into the casino hairpin, and through on the inside go Fisichella and Ralf Schumacher, who have thereby increased their position. Heinz-Harald Frentzen into the garage, out of the race. Here is the race leader.
Some clear air, and here he is now coming up behind Salo. Something is smoking quite a lot.
It's Frentzen's Jordan, and off he goes. Maybe something's happened to the engine. I saw smoke coming out of the back of the Jordan before. That's the Mugen Honda engine spinning the wheels. He's in the gravel. He's beached it. The under tray is down in the gravel. He's not going to get out of that. That is another retirement from the Austrian Grand Prix, and it is the 4th in 6 laps.
I suspect he spun off in his own oil or fluid of some sort, because something was smoking. And look, he's turned in completely normal. Yes, there's a trail of smoke, and bang, it goes on your own rear tyres. And Frentzen just buried the throttle pedal to try and drive out of the gravel, but ended up just digging himself the beginnings of a sandcastle. And look, he's reacted extremely early. Nothing he could do about it. That is not Heinz-Harald's fault.
No, he had a terrific season last year because he won in France and he won in Italy. He's having a pretty awful season this year because he's down in 9th position with only 5 points. That is Eddie Jordan.
And I wonder what could be on the track there. Fortunately for most of the drivers, they're going to get some waved yellows when they come along there. I suspect
in the Jaguar, who is the first retirement. And wow, that's the 2 Jordans and a mega, that's Trulli and Frentzen.
And there's many cars piling in at the back. Terrible accident there. And of course, Arrows is way down the field. Now here we go. Look, it's Barrichello squeezes the 2 Jordans together, who then run into Coulthard. Now watch closely. In the dust, you will see an Arrows who was way down the field end up flashing through the air. It's amazing it hasn't hit Coulthard. Look, there it goes.
Pedro see both of them as into the pits comes Heinz-Harald Frentzen. Oh, off the track, out of the race. Frentzen retires, the third retirement of the race, and that is the 10th time in 16 races that Heinz-Harald Frentzen has retired. The bugbear of the Jordan team this year has been a lack of reliability. 10 retirements for Frentzen, and Trulli has retired 7 times as well. And a very gloomy Eddie Jordan pensively looks at the screen, because they are starting to see, as I have made clear already, the possibility of their 5th place in the Constructors' Championship disappearing, because Frentzen is certainly going to score no points. As you look down on this... fighting him is in the background, you can see, and there's Frentzen out of the race. 1 Jordan retirement already, and if the Prost drivers have had a dreadful season, so has Heinz-Harald Frentzen. This is Grand Prix 17 of 17, and that is the 11th time that Heinz-Harald Frentzen, a 3 times Grand Prix winner, has retired.